Alright, bitches, so we're on to episode 49 of Dragon Ball Super. This episode is called A Message from the Future, Goku Black Invades. Alright, so the episode opens up with, Trunks attacking Goku. And, it's like a stalemate. Goku caught Trunks' punch, and it's like, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? And then Bulma just slaps the shit out of him. And Trunks kind of regains his senses and looks at Goku, and he's like, Goku, what the hell? And then it's like, yeah, I should have mentioned this last time, because I was thinking it. But remember, when Trunks left the present in Dragon Ball Z, when he, left for good, Goku had decided to remain dead after dying in the Cell games when he saved the world from exploding when Cell blew himself up. Remember, Trunks was on Kami's lookout, and he heard Goku telling everyone, I don't want to be wished back this time. So, of course, Trunks waking up now, and he sees Goku, he can only assume that he's still in the future and something didn't work out. So that's why he attacked Goku. And Goku kind of explains, like, yeah, things happened and I was revived. And, at this point, it's sort of like introductions, it's sort of like talked about how, this Trunks is the grown-up version of this Trunks over here, purple-haired Trunks. And Beerus kind of is putting two and two together as well. And Whis also figures out just exactly what's going on. Trunks picks up his sword, and as he does, he sees, young Mai, and realizes who that is. And Vegeta tells Trunks, you won't need that sword, but, Trunks says, it'll calm me down having it, and Vegeta, says, I understand. And then they go over to the time machine, and Bulma is really just pimping herself out, oh, aren't I amazing? And then this is when, we get into some interesting stuff, actually. Trunks actually mentions, future Trunks mentions, to present Trunks, hey, I've met you before, but you were a baby back then. And Whis is talking about how he thought it would be impossible for humans to make time travel stuff, and he's quite surprised, but it is a huge, serious crime. Now, here's something that's actually kind of interesting. Whis explains why time travel is prohibited even among the gods, sort of how, you could go back in time, change a little thing, and could lead to mass destruction in the future, planets being destroyed and stuff. But what's interesting about the way Whis is talking is the way Whis is talking is as though Trunks could go back to the future, Trunks could go back to the past, kill, let's say, the androids, but then when he goes back to the future, Whis is talking about, Trunks returns to the future, and, him destroying the androids in the past is what sticks. But what happened in Dragon Ball Z is where, remember, Trunks would return to his future, and nothing has changed in that timeline from all the stuff Trunks did in the past. For example, giving Goku the medicine to cure his heart virus. When Trunks returns to the future, Goku is not alive in the future, even though Trunks, prevented Goku's death. So really, I wonder, this is more than likely just a mistake by the people making the show, because, once you start talking about time travel in, fiction, stuff can get really, really confusing, dumb, obnoxious, however you want to say it. But before this, Dragon Ball Z was going along the idea of, parallel timelines. Once Trunks went back in the past, that, split all these different timelines up. And, each timeline has its own, unique, events moving forward. Whereas Whis is kind of explaining something different. But, it's whatever. Anytime you have time travel, dumb shit like this is going to happen. That's why Chrono Trigger kind of got away from that after the beginning of the game. Then it cuts back to the future, and we see Goku Black angry that he can't find Trunks. He can't sense where Trunks' energy is, and he declares that Trunks is not on the planet at all. And he shoots a bunch of energy bombs at the ground, destroying them. And he thinks back to when Trunks disappeared, and he goes over to the exact spot where Trunks disappeared, and you know, Goku Black's ring starts, acting up, and he says the ring of time. So whatever, Goku Black has on his finger is called the ring of time, and he says it's activating, and it shoots out a laser and creates what looks like a portal to the past. Now then there's a funny scene where, you know, Trunks is sort of introduced exactly to who Whis and Beerus are as, gods. And, Beerus is talking about, like, time travel's forbidden, so it looks like I might have to destroy. And, Trunks is getting down on his hands and knees, like, please, forgive my mother, punish me instead. And, of course, Beerus is kind of teasing them a little bit, and he goes, well, I suppose I'll let this slide if I can be provided with a delicious food I have not eaten before. So it's like, Beerus is he knows what he's doing. So then we go back to Piccolo and Krillin, who had finished picking all the vegetables in Goku's garden, when Chi-Chi has Goten fly her up to where they are, and they explain that they got a phone call from Bulma, and that Trunks has arrived back in the prison. And Piccolo is extremely curious, so Piccolo and Krillin, they fly over to Capsule Corp to see what's going on with future Trunks having arrived. Then we get Bulma kind of looking through the time machine, and she doesn't quite understand how it works. She hasn't really gotten to a lot of those ideas. Although that machine we saw before most definitely was the fuel needed for the time machine that she was creating in episode 40. Was it 44? Yeah, I think it was episode 44. And Bulma finds a little notebook in the time machine, and she actually uses it to it's written by her from the future, so it's going to explain how the time machine works and everything, so Bulma will now be able to do repairs on it or do anything that might be necessary. Now then something really interesting happens that I thought was fascinating. Goku, Vegeta, and present Trunks are asking Trunks, okay, so what's going on? Why are you here? Did something happen in the future? And Trunks says, a terrible enemy has arrived. And Vegeta asks, is it Majin Buu? And Trunks kind of goes, about Majin Buu. And then it's awesome. We see a flash of future Trunks fighting Deborah and eventually defeating Deborah and defeating Babidi. And he says it was a tough battle with Deborah and Babidi, but Kaioshin-sama, which of course is the Supreme Kai, that's the Supreme Kai who, eventually had fused and turned into Kibito Kai. Supreme Kai gave Trunks tips. So Trunks was actually able to defeat Deborah and Babidi in his future timeline before Majin Buu was resurrected. Now this is awesome because I remember there's always been fan talk about what exactly happened with Trunks, because obviously Babidi and Deborah probably would have showed up at some point. Majin Buu is still sealed up on Earth, even in Trunks' timeline. And then here we go. Very impressive, by the way. We do have to give major props to Trunks for defeating Deborah. Because remember, Goku explicitly states in the, Babidi Saga, Buu Saga, that Deborah is pretty much equal with Cell. And so the fact that Trunks is able to defeat Cell, or to defeat Deborah, shows that he had gotten strong enough to be able to defeat Cell. So in the future timeline, Majin Buu never was resurrected at all. And then at this point, Trunks starts explaining what happened with Goku Black. He explains that it's an enemy. He introduced himself as, Son Goku, and he looks exactly like Goku. And he says he wears black clothes, so we call him Goku Black. And Bulma walks up like, that naming idea is dumb. And Trunks is like, well, it was you in the future who decided that. And she's like, what? It was funny. And then Trunks, further elaborates that Goku Black arrived on Earth one day and said that he would annihilate all the Earthlings for the sake of justice. And apparently he had destroyed multiple planets before, and, you see a scene of him, shooting his Dark Kamehameha, killing Earthlings, and then we see, Trunks fighting Goku Black. And Trunks mentions that he's been fighting Goku Black for about a year, and there's hardly any humans left. And then he says, just before I came to this era, and he has the flashback of, future Bulma being killed by Goku Black. And then it's really funny because Vegeta then goes, huh, so you, a proud Saiyan, turned your back on an enemy and ran away. Like, Goku's like, whoa, Vegeta, come on now. And Bulma kind of looks at the notebook. She walks up and they go through the notebook, which explains how future Bulma wanted Trunks to go back to the past. And her previous version of Bulma could kind of help repair the time machine and help Trunks out. And, they sort of deduce this as, they want, Goku or Vegeta to get rid of, Goku Black. So then at this point, I guess, Bulma is going to try and fix the time machine, and then eventually they're going to go to the future, and they're going to, fight and defeat Goku Black. And Vegeta and Goku both seem rather excited, although Goku does say, I'll let you, Vegeta, handle him if he looks and is just like me. And then Goku and Trunks, they go have a little spar. And this is interesting because Trunks immediately goes Super Saiyan 2. Now, of course, in Dragon Ball Z, when we last saw future Trunks, he never was able to go Super Saiyan 2 that we saw. So Trunks unlocked the ability to go Super Saiyan 2 sometime off screen, which is very impressive. So that means Trunks has been, continuing on with his training, continuing to work at that. I did notice that it looked like there was a slight animation error, though, because if Trunks really was Super Saiyan 2, I imagine his hair would have looked more like the Super Trunks forms, where he got really diesel. And Goku as well, he goes Super Saiyan 2 to fight Trunks, but I feel like if Goku is Super Saiyan 2, like, his hair is supposed to be even more rigid than it is. Whatever, not a big deal. It's funny, because they start to fight, and, just them powering up creates chaos in the city. And Bulma activates some device which creates a barrier around them so they can fight without any worries. But of course, they end up breaking the barrier anyway. So then, they kind of fight, and Goku and everyone, even Beerus, is impressed by Trunks' level of strength. But then Goku ups it to Super Saiyan 3, and he's able to easily block Trunks' full power. Now, Trunks then tells Goku that, yeah, Goku Black is at minimum about that strong. More than likely, though, he's much stronger than that. So, but listen, obviously, I am betting Goku Black probably is going to have Super Saiyan transformations, even above the level of Goku and Vegeta. If I was to guess, I would say Goku Black will probably go Super Saiyan Blue and fight, Super Saiyan Blue Goku or Vegeta or whoever he ends up fighting. But then I bet you he will reveal the next Super Saiyan form. Goku Black will be the first one to do it. Then he might defeat either Goku or Vegeta, and then the other one might train, get that form, and then be able to defeat Goku Black. I could definitely see that happening. And then, no sooner than Goku and Trunks finish their little sparring match, then the portal from the future opens up and Goku Black arrives in the past. So his little time ring thing certainly has it. So, I mean, this is very fast. Goku Black arrives from the future. He sees, oh, there you are, Trunks. And then, oh, so you're Son Goku. And then Goku's like, so you're Black. And boom, that's it. The episode ends with Goku Black having arrived in the past. But you do have to say, it is so ridiculous, because, the way they just call him Black, so it leads to, ridiculous moments, like Goku saying, so you're Black. It's my friend Dion, I could really picture him because sometimes he can get like this, where it's the subtle racism of the Japanese or some shit like that, but I know it's not meant to be like that. And then in the preview for the next fucking episode, Goku against Goku Black this quick? Mazaka! I never would have thought they would have gotten into the shit this fast. So something happens. If Goku's fighting Goku Black here, this could be it. Maybe I could really see Goku being killed by Goku Black here. With Goku Black again going Super Saiyan Blue, or maybe some level beyond Super Saiyan Blue, killing Goku, and then Vegeta has to be the one to defeat Goku Black. I'm not gonna lie, that would be really, really interesting and fascinating. If they're gonna go that route, I am totally down for that. Vegeta being the one to, save the day for once. Because, Vegeta always does so good against like movie villains. But really, in like the main Dragon Ball Z series, the main villain, Vegeta's usually there just to measure the main villain's power as Vegeta gets sunned by the enemy. Vegeta gets bossed up. So it would be cool if Vegeta was the one to take Black down.